Lionel Messi has been unveiled as an Inter Miami player. Finally, Messi said, "I'm very happy to have chosen to come to this city with my family, to have chosen this project, and I have no doubt that we are going to enjoy it very much. We're going to have a good time, and great things are going to happen. Thank you very much. Thank you all for this day. I cannot wait to start training to compete. I feel the same desire I've always had to compete, to really want to win, and to help Miami continue to grow." It's a bit of a rainy unveiling in the 18,000 capacity stadium in in Miami. Thoughts on Messi? We talked a little bit about the money involved last couple of weeks, but now he has officially been unveiled. Friday, I believe, is his first match against Cruz Azul in I believe the Champions League, the CONCACAF Champions League. Busquets has also been announced, and rumors of Jordi Alba joining. Funny about Busquets, did you guys see the announcement from MLS? The tweet they tweeted. They had a picture of Alvaro Arbeloa kissing the World Cup and said, we're introducing Sergio Busquets, which I thought was pretty funny. Just classic MLS American stuff right there. But yeah, Messi unveiled 18,000 capacity stadium was a little bit, I don't know, a little anticlimactic for me. What are you guys' thoughts about the whole Messi situation?
I mean, we talked about the move itself already. I think, again, I want to, it's great for the MLS. It's great for fans of the game in Miami and in the MLS in general, because they'll all watch all the highlights, right? They'll soak up the highlights. I'm sure he'll score a few fabulous goals and do some fabulous things. It's Lionel Messi. But, is he single-handedly going to win them every game? I don't think so. I mean, he's 35, 36 years old almost, I think. It's fun right now, right? It's the fun thing in Miami. That's what the impression I get sometimes with MLS. It's the fun thing right now is in Miami, and it's Lionel Messi. And once that has died down in a year or so, what are they going to do next to ensure that it keeps going, other than Messi is now an owner of a future franchise, which is great. Okay, Messi's still involved, but now there's no highlight reel. There's no, you know what I mean? Like it's the same thing I think I said to you guys before with Beckham. I don't feel that the MLS really doubled down on getting a name of that size, and Messi is a bigger name than Beckham, I would argue, right? Beckham was a huge name at the time. I'd argue Messi is a huge name, probably a bit bigger. Can they double down on that and actually do something moving forward to make the MLS get to where they want it to be? Or, or will they not? Will it go to a certain point again and just stop? That's my only question. And just as a one laughable thing for me about it was the stadium announcer who said America's number 10, and I was like, he does know that he can't play for America, right?
His kids, though, his kids maybe. We'll get the
so,
kids.
Dude.
Give us the kids.
Imagine what the Argentinian people would do if his kids chose to play for the USA.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be crazy.
It's an interesting point you make about the MLS sort of. I agree with you. I don't think they really doubled down on David Beckham when he was there and enthused. But I guess the question is what, and you guys might know it better than me being placed there. People in chat might know it being better placed in America. But what does the MLS want to do? Do you think is it going to try and challenge European football in terms of that scale? Or is it just it wants to be the number one in the Americas? It wants to be the number one football soccer league in the Americas. I think that's the question. Right? If they're there for the moments of this will get hype for the next 1-2 years, and then in 1-2 years we'll go and get the next superstar who's retiring, sort of thing, and we'll just have it again and again and again. Maybe that's what they want. What's the goal of the MLS?
Yeah. So one of the things we mentioned it on a show a couple of weeks ago is the upcoming events in the U.S. Right? There's like an international tournament every year from here to like 2028 or something. Like we're bidding for the Women's World Cup, the Under 20, obviously the World Cup, the Copa America Centenario or something, or not the Centenario, the Copa America Brazil combined, or not Brazil, South America combined. So there's gonna be international tournaments where first off, Messi could be involved, and just football in general is involved. These, like, I remember Russia World Cup, right? We missed out, huge loss for the U.S. football. You know, we were riding a wave, huge just empty space, because these international tournaments are what get America pumped up about football. I mean, now we're seeing it more with all the players playing in Europe, which is why I love that we played the Nations League with a full lineup of Europeans-based players, right? Even in the World Cup, I remember, I think it was just Walt Zimmerman was the only MLS player in the side, and then the next game we dropped him for Brooks, I believe, who's playing in Celtic, and you know, just little things like that were not very common growing up, and this type of thing, I think, just shows. I mean, I'm not gonna say Beckham is the reason why this is happening, but Beckham probably played a, you know, you could call it, you could argue what percentage he played in the role of players going to Europe, but I would say that it's at least a little bit, you know, and that's all I could ask for, because it is a long-term project. You know, you're looking for direct effects of Beckham moving here, and I don't think you're gonna see it like that with the amount of sports that we have. It's gonna be just this World Cup, every player in the starting 11 based in Europe. That is the ultimate goal. Obviously MLS isn't the ultimate goal. Our MLS based US men's national team is not great, you know, and we can talk about this a little after, about the Gold Cup which just passed, but that is the effect that Messi will have, right? You'll see Messi play. You know, 6-year-olds will play, and you know, we'll see Messi play, and they'll think, you know, I want to be Messi, blah blah blah, something like this. And it's just a very small, like, you know, mind washing. No, we won't get into washing, but it's that type of thing.
Is it more around you think it's more around like the youth, and then getting the youth to be exported to the better leagues and bring money into the MLS?
Well, the MLS, all MLS franchises have academies, right? So it's basically just lifting this system up, giving this system more credibility, showing that the league is profitable or something, you know, like showing that it is a possible step, rather than maybe going to college or you know, staying in high school, you know, going to one of the academies and developing your football. And Messi, it's obviously for him, he's going to make a bunch of money, but it also highlights the system of, you know, just the league as a whole. You know, it's good for the league as well, I think. But yeah, you're not going to see the direct effect of this. You know, you're not going to see directly. It's going to be in 10 years. You'll just see the development continue. It's a continuation. But
I thought I would see that more, and maybe that's my own expectation that was off then. And I think we talked a little bit about that when we discussed this a few weeks ago. But like, I thought I would see more of that result from the Beckham move, and we did see players start to follow him right afterwards for big money. Obviously, I feel like those players now are more likely to go to Saudi, right? If money's the motivating factor. As they get towards the end of their career, a lot of those players that are in Saudi now may well have gone to the MLS. So like, they've got competition now as well, which won't help. But yeah, it's I've no doubt it'll affect the youth. But a long time ago, somebody that works in American sports media, I won't name names, said to me, and I met him through a friend. He said to me that the problem is college, and he said, when you go to college, it's no longer cool to play soccer. And he said, basically, you won't get laid.
Oh, for sure.
He said, through high school, it's absolutely fine. He said, you go to college, and like, you know, you're as a person, you're then starting to explore that whole side of yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Like the other sports stars get laid way more, is what he said, basically. And obviously, some of this was in jest, but yeah, go on.
No, that's a very, very true stereotype. Soccer was seen as a P word, you know, kitty cat sport. I remember.
Do you think that's changed a little bit?
Yes, 100%. In fact, people, because I played in high school, right, and I knew it's a physical sport, right? You know, I mean, I enjoy that aspect of the game. But I had friends from high school who were, football, basketball guys, and they came to me and they said it was after the 2010 World Cup, and they were like, I'm so sorry, because there was basically these scenes of Bastian Schweinsteiger bleeding and he had to get staples in his head, right? And to be fair, when you see people because here in California, very, very, it's almost seen as a immigrant sport, right? Like a Mexican Latino sport, and when these guys, they saw the German national team, or they would see these white dudes with bleeding and like struggling in pain, and they were like, oh, okay, sorry. They literally came up to me and they were like, sorry, I didn't realize it was such, it was such a tough sport, stuff like that. And that's all. That's publicity, right? It's just like racism, It's just uneducated people are racist. Uneducated people think of football as a, kitty cat sport, right? So it's and this is that perception changes, right? More eyes maybe towards the Galaxy, and now towards Inter Miami, and now people will see what Messi's doing. Maybe they'll catch a highlight on Sports Center or something. It's just small things, just slowly.
The only problem with that is I would say the play acting that still is just right throughout
that.
football. People hate that. And even in Canada, if I meet anyone that doesn't like football here, that's the thing they bring up, and that's because they're hockey fans where, physicality is everything, and they get up with a mouthful of missing teeth and skate off to the side with a smile on their face. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I get that. That's what you brought up with. That's what you're used to. I'm used to, and I dare say culture's used to a much more physical version of football. Yeah. Doesn't mean it was better, and I know that's something you've talked about, Cart, and I'm inclined to agree with you to a point on that. Like, there's things about the old game that I loved, but there's things about the new game that I love too, right? Like the way it's played now. And but the play acting, I'd love to see that removed. And absolutely. I feel like it's another reason for them to stamp down on it, because man, that would appeal more to these fan bases. You know what
absolutely. I mean? Yeah. My friends that are casually into football, that that aren't against it or whatever, and don't have maybe share the same opinion as the stereotypical opinion, that's what they say. They say, the diving just annoys me. I can't watch it when I see these people diving. And maybe that's why I'm so like strict rules. If you make contact, it's a foul. Boom. Maybe that's why I'm that way. Maybe that plays into it. But yeah, on the topic of life in MLS, I was trying to find some talking points about this. I read a little bit about Giorgio Chiellini. He did an interview last couple months ago, and he was talking about how he finds the MLS more competitive than the Italian league, right? Because any year, any team can win, and if your team, because of the salary cap structure and the pay structure, contract structure, is if you have a breakout player in your team, he will demand more money, and there is a team that will pick him up. If they want to bolster that area in his roster, which I find interesting, to do. And also European players have mentioned, the more relaxed lifestyle, being able to go to the community, go into the community without constant media and fan attention. Before Messi was announced, I had written this topic in our chat about how Messi went to Publix without any security. It was just him, his 3 kids, and his wife. I mean, I find it hard to believe there's no security, but at the same time, looking at those pictures, it did look like he had no security. He did have a police escort on the way home, I believe, and he ran a red light or something. But that is a massive appeal. If you're a famous footballer in Europe and you're tired of all the, I bet Ronaldo, if he wasn't, I mean, I don't want to make assumptions, but there were some legal problems about him coming to USA. So maybe if I bet he would be an example of someone who would enjoy coming, like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, right? Like in Europe, he'll get recognized at every corner. Here, I bet he can get around a little easier, even in LA. I don't know you guys' thoughts about that.
As I still see it as, I don't think man goes shopping is news, but like I put in the Discord. But I think I don't know, it's a hard thing. Okay, a person in the English Premier League who is 35, 36 wouldn't just pop to Tesco on their own. No, they wouldn't do that. But, you know, I have met famous people in England that don't have security.
Oh, who?
I've met Rio Ferdinand at a train station waiting for the Eurostar in King's Cross St Pancras.
Was he in like
security?
Did you say pancreas? Pancreas?
Hey?
Pancreas, yeah.
Oh, St. Pancras.
King's Cross St Pancras, yeah.
Was he wearing a disguise or anything, or just out there?
No, it was just him waiting to get on his first class seat on the Eurostar.
Wow.
Like, it's not. I think this whole thing that people don't go anywhere in the UK without security is a bit. I don't know where or Europe. I don't know where it's come from, because I've met plenty of famous people without security following them. I think if they go to like Oxford Street, which is one of the UK's biggest places for Christmas shop, was one of the UK's biggest places for Christmas shopping in London during the Christmas shopping period, then yes, they'll probably go with a security detail because there's thousands of people there. But yeah, yes, life is probably more relaxing in the MLS because there is a little bit more focus on it, but I don't think it's that different.
I don't, you know, I think it was a surprise. I saw in the footage, I think there was like a sheriff's car outside, so maybe they came during, maybe somebody at the store called them. I don't know. Or maybe they were already there as kind of like just keeping an eye on it sort of thing, because it was his first shopping trip out. And a couple of people recognized him, right? There was a couple of people that asked for his picture, but, you know, it's cool that he's able to do that. I mean, I highly doubt he could do that in his hometown in Argentina or in Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? Without being just overwhelmed by people, right? So I think if you're in that limelight, you have to pick and choose maybe, but you would err on the side of caution. You know, I think, yeah, it's kind of cool to see, but like, I've never really been a big, like, oh my God, it's a celebrity. Some people are really like, oh my God, right? I've never really felt like that. So, I don't know. Put me next to Dennis Bergkamp or Thierry Henry and see how I react. I guess I would say, but like, I've never really, been that. So I'll just be. I think I'd just be. Oh, look, it's Messi. Maybe ask for a signature, I suppose.
Yeah.
But even that is, you know, you're collecting it for what reason?
Most famous person you've ever met, or maybe just shook hands or something.
Lennox Lewis, probably.
Ooh. That's funny. I met Muhammad Ali at the airport one time.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's really cool. Yeah.
He hit on my grandma.
That's the most famous person any of us are going to say, without question.
I can't beat that. So
he hit on my grandma. It was weird.
What? What did he say?
I don't know what he said. He's like,
was he like bouncing around?
He was, you know, he had Parkinson's at the time. Yeah, he was pretty.
Okay, so he wasn't bouncing. He was just shaking.
Okay. Was he bouncing around? Oh, yeah, he had Parkinson's. So yeah.
And